Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Dominique, and this is Way Off, like my glasses, but I guess both of us aren't going anywhere. So welcome back into Way Off, your weekly dose of everything sport, a little society, and a crap ton of foolishness for the sports novice and the sports junkie alike. Go ahead and give me a subscribe if you like sports, if you like sports discussion, if you like sports commentary, and if you like the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, I don't like the Cowboys, but I live in Dallas, and all they do is talk about them, so I figured I would too. With that being said, $1 million question, Dak Prescott, will he be returning as the franchise QB in 2021 and beyond? Short answer, yes. Long answer, you got to look at where he's been and you got to look at where he's going. Where he's been is contract negotiations moving backwards. Where he's going is what he showed you this year up until this injury. So let's dive and go back into where he's been really quick. Where he's been is kind of summed up into this contract negotiation as a whole, because I look at it in business proceedings in three separate parts. First part, they're always going to try and underpay you. Second part, they're always going to try and get rid of you earlier in your peak. Or excuse me, like, you know, that small little season after you hit your peak of like winning a Super Bowl or doing your best or whatever, they're always going to try and get rid of you earlier than whatever your contract says. And then three, they're always going to pay you off of potential. Let's start with number one. They are always going to try and underpay you. They wouldn't be paying Dak if they didn't see his potential. Everybody early on was up in arms about Dak, saying that he was too greedy, saying that he wasn't where the Cowboys needed him to be in order to get that kind of money. All right, sis. All right, bro. Let's break that down for 5 seconds. One, rookie deal. Dak Prescott was an overlooked and overthought QB, came out in the 4th round. And with that being said, he was making next to nothing. As we understand that the NFL means not for long, why the heck would I be showing you every single ounce trick play situation? Why would I show you everything that I have and you're not paying me? Why would I try and pull a Cam Newton and get injured trying to run and dive and do all the things that I don't need to be doing when you're not paying me and there's no security there? Because it's so much easier for y'all to get rid of me, okay, in this rookie deal, because you can restructure a team around somebody a lot quicker. No, I need you to restructure around me. I'm not showing you everything I got early. That's stupid. That's stupid. But I'm going to show you a little something in the game, and I'm going to show you a little something in practice. Now, what Dak Prescott did show this team is that over the course of these 4 years, he has continued to evolve in his game, and his potential and his upside are currently, at this current conjecture, limitless. All right. With that being said, Dak Prescott is not, you're right, is not where he needs to be, but the team fully knows where he's going, okay? He's consistent. There's no doubt about it in my mind about this, all right? Which is why they were willing to pay him the money that he wanted. They were battling about the 4 to 5 years, because what are they trying to do? Get him cheaper. Now, this moves me on to my second point of they try and get rid of you early. So Dak Prescott can sign a 4-year deal all he wants to. Okay, but if he's not performing, or if he doesn't win them a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years, if they get all of the pieces around him, they're going to try and get rid of him. Okay, or to be quite honest, if they get all of the pieces around him and he doesn't win a championship in 1 year, they're going to try and get rid of him. Or, I mean, the scenarios can go on and on and on and on. All I know is that unless you are showing like Patrick Mahomes level upside of being able to win a Super Bowl in a year or two, teams are generally going to try and get rid of you pretty much when you hit your peak, maybe like a little season after, because they would rather start restructuring a team around somebody else. Okay, Dak, knowing that he has the potential and the upside to take them to a championship in a couple of years, because Jerry is focused on winning now, he knew, hey, you guys take a bet on me and actually give me everything that I need, foreshadowing to this year, I can get you guys where you need to be. What's the one thing holding Dallas back? Their stupid defense and their offensive line. But that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about is the sheer fact that Dak knows that his upside is doggone near limitless at this current point in time. And in 4 years, he knows he'll still have either won them a championship or be in the position to win them a championship. And he can renegotiate with this team. Or if they're trying to play that on the fly with him, he can go do his duty, do his due diligence with another team, get on another team. You know, you got that. All right, cool. Now, moving on to the third point. Businesses pay you off of potential. We've already kind of touched on that, but the point still remains and the point stands that Dak Prescott has shown them potential since he's been in college. let's go back a little further, shall we? Dak Prescott took his Mississippi State Bulldog team to the #1 overall spot in the college football rankings. That was the first time that they had been there, ever, in the 80 years that the college football rankings had been there, okay? With that being said, he was still overlooked, came out as a 4th rounder, made next to nothing. Adversity part #1, really #2, because he did all of that after his mother had passed, all right? Moving on. Tony Romo goes down in a game. Well, all of a sudden, Dak enters the picture. They start bawling, instant chemistry. Then, if you haven't noticed, they were saying, well, that's because Zeke was there, okay? Zeke goes away on all these little cases and charges and things he has to figure out for about a year or so, and Dak Prescott remains fairly consistent, okay? He has nothing but receivers at that point to throw to. So then, even though his receivers at that time weren't up to par to anyone's standards, they were like, well, Dak doesn't have an arm. Okay, cool. Zeke comes back. The defenses have figured out Zeke at that point, and then they say, wow, well, even though we know it's not Dak, it's still Dak because, like, Zeke is still great. All right, sis, Zeke still doesn't have an arm. All right, bro, whatever. So finally they go in and they bring Amari Cooper. They see, oh, well, Amari Cooper is just consistent. That's fair. That's fair. Amari Cooper is consistent. He makes some plays. Oh, well, Gallup is just like a once in a whatever blue moon talent. You get where I'm going with this. They have downplayed Dak since he's been there, even though he's continued to show you that he's consistent. And I'm getting really tired of these announcers who are disproportionately critiquing Dak versus every other quarterback. All the color commentary on Dak Prescott is that he was too high, he was too low, can't throw a deep ball, can't do anything. You don't hear any of that with any other quarterback, regardless of if they're new, regardless of if they're old, regardless if they're past their prime. They always want to critique Dak. But I digress. So this is what Dak did. I'm not taking that from any of y'all anymore. Okay, my stats show themselves. I'm still consistent. I'm still getting the job done. I just don't have the pieces around me. So I'm going to take a bet on myself because I'm getting tired of y'all disrespecting me, knowing fully well in this front office that I deserve everything that I'm asking for. And I'm going to ball out. Okay, and ball out fully guaranteed, might I add. All right. So what did Dak do this year? And this is us moving to the present. He literally and figuratively balled out, bro. Breaking records left and right, having all of the receivers around him. Yes, he has all of his pieces together, except for the offensive line and except for the defense, setting records left and right. And now he is playing with upside and potential fully showing because he knows that he's worth this deal that he's asking for. Okay, now he can show y'all everything because at least he has some guaranteed money. Now that comes with its risks. It's associated risk, and we saw that on the field. But what is that showing us? That Dak Prescott is still young, that if we really put everything together around him, we can have a championship run in 2 to 3 years like we are asking for. But we also have the full and present awareness before the injury that Dak could leave us in a couple of years or leave us after this year if we don't get him what he's asking for and go win a championship for another team. So what are we going to do? Dak really could have gotten, oh, it breaks my heart. He could have gotten more than he could have ever wanted this year had he not gone down. And that's the unfortunate part. But the non-unfortunate part, since we've gotten the professional standpoint out of the way, actually, we haven't gotten the professional standpoint out of the way. Let's take care of that real quick one more time. Even in this injury, even in this season of injury, Dak still has a little bit more leverage. Why? Because the team has spent this year trying to expertly craft these pieces around Dak. Now, we do know that they have more opportunity to draft it, to craft it around somebody else, but we know that whoever they drafted this year is going to take them a while. And Andy Dalton, he's a veteran. He knows how to play, but the system wasn't necessarily for him. So how much potential are you really going to have with this dude? Is he really going to take you to a Super Bowl? And honestly, even if you get the defense and the offensive line together, are you going to get where you need to be? No. They also know that this next draft class has Trevor Lawrence, who they're probably not going to get unless they continue to play like this and the Giants win another couple of games. And some dude from maybe Ohio State. I can't even remember his name. And then Sam Ehlinger. Okay, it doesn't matter who they draft, honestly, because regardless, you get to the NFL, everybody is just as big, just as fast, just as strong as you, right? So they know that it's going to take time to build and to develop. Dak Prescott was their best shot at winning sooner rather than later. Everybody was fully aware of that. So Dak still has leverage in this regard because this injury isn't going to take him out that long, 4 to 6 months at best. And then I would give or take 3 months, when they feel a little awkward, they don't trust their leg as much, yada, yada, yada. So he has more leverage still professionally. You have to focus on that because Andy Dalton, unfortunately, I think we're all convinced that he's not going to get the job done. But going with that too, who else are they going to get? The quarterbacks around the NFL, they're slim pickings, all right? Now, moving on to his personal ability. You would be stupid not to bet on Dak Prescott at this current point in time. And I say this for a few reasons. Again, he took Mississippi State to a #1 overall ranking, the first time in that team's history of being to #1 overall after his mother died. I've never personally lost a family member, definitely not my mother, but I don't know how you would even function after that, okay? Not only that, after a debilitating battle with depression and anxiety, and then losing your brother to suicide, you come out and have the season of your life. What am I trying to get at? We are all with this disease circling, this little thing we got going on right now. I can't say it because I don't feel like getting demonetized, even though I don't make money on here anyway. We're all battling through a storm right now. Dak Prescott has been in a storm, okay? He has been in a storm. He's continued to take risks every year, continuing to play, continuing to ball out, continuing to be a leader, and he has won every single time. The man is used to adversity, all right? You would be stupid not to bank on Dak Prescott in this instance. All that man does is come back from adversity. He literally lives in adversity. We at least get a little bit of sunshine and rainbows, you know what I'm saying? The man lives in adversity. Why would you not bank on him for a short-term injury? And knowing that Dallas has one of the best orthopedic surgeons in the ortho and whatever people surgeons in the world, knowing that they'll get him back faster. You mean to tell me you're not going to bank on a man that's been through everything and already overcome everything? You stupid. Yes, Dak Prescott is going to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I believe is going to be an MVP and the Dallas Cowboys franchise QB, and ultimately the one that leads them to their next Super Bowl, even though I would never hear the last of it, honestly. But yes, long story, not short, because I gave you the short version. Long story long, Dak Prescott will be the Dallas Cowboys franchise QB. Everything, even though it's this injury plaguing him. Either way, you're stupid not to bet on Dak right now, guys. He's showing you everything. You're stupid not to bet on Dak. Debate your mama, okay? I'm sure you guys go off on me in the comments, but either way, I'm Dominique. I am way off and I am way out, and we'll see Dak on that MVP run and that Super Bowl run. Lord knows I will not hear the last of it later on.